Welcome, welcome. You're in the right place at the right time. Today is Tuesday and it's 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm so glad you guys dropped in for another episode of Ask Dr. Ron. We're going to have a great show to get today. We have a returning guest, my brother, Mr. Jerry Williams Sr. He's in the green room, and I'm so excited because he always brings us such great information. So you all, let me get my shout out the way, then we're going to get right to it. The first thing I want to do is give a shout out to my mentor, Dr. Hunt. Dr. Hunt and I have been traveling in life together for 30 plus years. And out of that 30 plus years, he has been a blessing to both me and my family, as well as I have been a blessing to him and his family. And one of the reasons why I talk about mentors is because I want you to understand the value of a mentor. Someone that can help you through life's curves and ups and downs and situations that life has a tendency to throw our way. And you'll understand the value of a mentor. So get you a mentor and then get a show so you can shout your mentor out. All right. I want to invite you guys to go over to my website, ask-dr-ron.com. When you get over there, the first thing I want you to notice is that you can hit the link that says Watch Live. Every broadcast that is live, you can hit that button and you can see it live in real time. All right. The next thing I want you to notice is all these advertisers that I have there. They help make it possible for me to do what I do. The first thing I want to talk about is RRJ Web. If you've got a website that's broken, that needs to be fixed, or you don't have a website at all, you just would like to have one created, RRJ Web can help you put your website together. So you can click on any of the banners that you see on my website. It'll take you directly to the owner of that company. Sir Synergy, if you're interested in some solar panels for your home or your business, you can call Sir Synergy, have them come out and do an energy assessment for your home or business, and they'll be able to help you decide the best way to go for your energy needs. Also, Port Again Sam. Now, Port Again Sam has been with me for about 15 years, and he brings in some of the best wines and spirits from all over the world. And I tell you, if you are a wine drinker or a cognac drinker, you want to reach out to him. I promise you, you'll find your new favorite wine with Sam. Just call him up, say, I need a wine tasting, tell him you heard about it over here, and I tell you, you will have the time of your life. And last but not least, I want to talk about Prince Hunter Financial Group. The Prince Hunter Financial Group are teaching people how to work the stock market and or the Forex market. So if you know about the stock market and you need to learn a little bit more, Prince Hunter Financial Group can help you navigate your way through those millions of dollars that you're going to make. All right. Now, the Prince Hunter Financial Group is also running a special for anybody that tells them that they heard about it on the Ask Dr. Ron show. They get 4 free classes. 4 free classes. He will teach you how the stock market works. Okay, so you want to reach out to him and get those 4 free classes. If it goes over your head, then don't worry about it. Then you can sign up for more classes. Okay, so now, like I said before, I'm so excited to have my brother back on the show. He has been on the show before, and he has brought us such great knowledge and information about all the things that he does. And every time he comes, man, my head be spinning because he just tells me about everything that's going on in the world. So welcome back to the show, Mr. Jerry Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy to be here. Happy to be here again.
Yes, sir. So what's going on, man? You want to dive right in?
Well, one of my favorite places, man. Yeah, we know the first thing. I was looking at some of your advertisements, man. I wrote them down because I'll jump on a couple of them.
Look, they on their own, man. They on their own. That's all I can say.
I wrote them down. I said, shit, I'm gonna jump on a couple of those, dog. I can use that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
we got a lot of things happening, and I don't need to tell you about the stuff going on with the country because you're getting it on every station around the world, around the world.
So wait a minute. Don't go past that too fast now. So how you feel about this fourth grand jury bringing in felony counts against your favorite person? Because he like to play golf too. That's why he your favorite person.
Come on, man. Don't insult golf like that. My partners will get angry, man. Don't do that. You know what? I tell you what. In answer to your question, I think it's great for the country because this guy, you got to remember, he's just an old reality host show. This guy, host. He's never been into politics. He doesn't know anything about what's going on around the world. What happened is this man has been groomed for years with people like Vladimir Putin. They've been grooming him for years. He's an oligarch wannabe, and he knows that in America you got some people that are hateful. They just want to be able to control, certain segments of the country, and they think that this makes them great. You give them a gun and an AK-47. Now I'm great. They're damn fools. He said when he first ran for office, I love my poorly educated.
Right.
He tells you everything he wants to do, and make you you said enough till it becomes numb to you, and it's just ordinary. It's ordinary now. When he talk about African Americans or Hispanics or Jews and stuff like that, he wants to try. It's not just him. Let me back up. It's not just him. He's just the culprit for what people are doing. Mm-hmm. What they do is, if we can get them fighting among themselves, then we control everything. Mm-hmm. We control everything. Lyndon Johnson said this way back in the day. He said if you want to control, if you want to control the white man, just tell him he got more money than the Negro. Mm. And so you can get him to do anything then. Mm-hmm. So that's what's happening here. You got these 4 indictments. I am so happy that they're doing it because it lets you know that there is some legitimacy to the Constitution. Right. No person is supposed to be above the law. Now let's see what happens. People are saying, well, it's not going to be, and I tend to disagree. I think that the man is going to end up going to jail. People don't, Jerry, you out there on the limb by yourself? No, I'm not. Watch. No. Watch. And one thing I say to my people, stop looking at the polls. The polls lie. Yep. Figure this stuff out for yourself. I've been around here a long time. I've been into labor a long time. I've been into politics a long time. And I never put any stock in the polls. I put stock in the people. When people telling me what they're going to do. Right. I think that they're going to bounce this clown.
Yeah. I talk about it quite a bit on Street News Now when we do the news commentary. There were four grand juries convened in his honor. And now all 4 have come in with felony counts against Trump. And this last one, I think, is just as significant as the first one, because they're not making up stuff on him. They're not just saying, oh, well, we want to come after him because he's a political front runner. No, these are all violations that he have established against the people of this country, the injustice against the people of this country. And it's some people feel like he should get a pass, but why? They ain't giving nobody else a pass. I got a text last night that when they brought in the Georgia grand jury indictments, I think they had 2 or 3 black people that were indicted amongst the 18. They said they're going to be the first ones to go to jail.
They're probably right. Probably right.
Man, look.
We know that.
I think, look, them 2 or 3 lawyers that was black in that picture, they in trouble. You know
what they're going to say, Doc, is that, he made Trump do that. He wouldn't have done it if they hadn't told him.
Right. And Trump don't listen to nobody.
No.
Nobody, And they had, what's that, Giuliani?
Yeah.
He was sweating so bad, today. He said, I'm looking forward to discrediting all of these charges against us. He don't know he by himself.
Right. Trump ain't got no partners, dog. You can
look,
boast with everybody else.
Look. We all know there was only 5 members of the Temptations.
Right.
But I promise you, all 18 of these people, plus, Trump ain't got sense enough to sing. They're going to be singing 5-part harmony apiece.
Yeah. That's what people don't understand, man. It's in all seriousness, if they don't do what they're doing now, this country don't mean anything. This situation where you got the Constitution and all that doesn't mean anything, because if you got people that are above the law, and he said this before, and I mean, he said that I could stand in the middle of I think Madison Square Garden, shoot somebody, and you wouldn't have no problem with that.
Right.
And it's true. True. They for a certain amount of people, the big majority of people do have a problem with it.
Right.
When I go back, in all seriousness, when I go back and I look at it, and when they ran, and Hillary Clinton ran against him, Hillary Clinton was 10 times, 20 times more prepared to be president than this clown.
Qualified, yeah.
People didn't understand that, and they didn't want a woman in there. And they got to understand a lot of time women are better than men when it comes to things like that. But they didn't want a woman in there, and they hated Hillary Clinton for what? I don't know.
I still don't know either. I ask that question all the time. Why? What did she do to y'all to make y'all hate her so much?
Right. She was the wife of the president, and she did a great job then. She was the
Secretary of State. Yeah.
And she was a senator. She did a great job on all of them, and she made sense with everything that she was talking about. I still think she's one of the most intelligent politicians in the country. And but they could not put a woman in there. All right. You put this clown. Now you see what you got. He's broken every law that you could possibly think of. Still got some people running around there. Oh, I vote for Mr. Trump.
Right. Look, some people talking about they'll start a riot.
Yeah.
If they put Trump in jail, this gonna be a civil war. We're gonna tear this country up. Now, I gotta ask you this question: have you heard the latest conversation about what the Republicans are saying about the impeachment inquiry about Biden? Have you heard that one yet?
Totally ridiculous. Yeah, I've heard it. Totally ridiculous.
So they were on Fox. One of the Republicans was on Fox, and they were talking about, well, let's slow down here now, fellas, because if we impeach the president, then Kamala's gonna be president. I was like, man, they gonna cut off their nose to spite their face,
Oh
boy.
man! Oh man! Oh man! This is. You know, I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, man, they so stupid. They don't even know whether they coming or going. They said, now hold on there, fellas. We got to slow down with this here impeachment talk.
yeah, yeah. Totally, man. Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
for them to talk about, and if I hear a Democrat or a progressive person talking about, well, Joe Biden is too old, I'm going to slap him. So get your money together, get me out of jail, okay? So I'm going to slap him. This man has done more in 2 years than any other president short of Roosevelt, you know, in his term of office, doing everything that he said he could do. Even doing bipartisan stuff. I mean, he's done everything. He goes back, putting middle class back in charge again.
Right.
He's working with the unions and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I don't want to hear that garbage. What we have is people trying to manipulate us, and especially those undesirables, as Hillary Clinton called them back then, believing that, you know, we got to take over and we can only do it with our guns, and we're going to kill some people, and we're going to. No, you're not in America.
Right.
You don't do that in America, and that's what I want to hear people say from now on. That the slogan should be "Not in America." That's not going to happen here. We're not going to allow it to happen here. But, you know, we could talk all day, and I'm happy we do, because people need to hear more conversations.
Right. Adult conversations about things. You know, and I want to help put to rest that issue about, you know, the faults that they have with the current president. Mm-hmm. Now, people of color have a tendency to have a fault with him because he put in the cocaine law. He was part of that law and order administration that helped put more drug dealers behind bars, more than, you know, because it was cocaine. You know, I'm sorry, crack law. I said cocaine, but crack law. So, you know, and I say to those people that everybody has an opportunity to mature and grow, you know, in their thought processes when they begin to understand who's being hurt by certain things and what's going on. So at this point in time, as president, he has definitely worked on trying to do things a lot differently than the old mindset that he had when he was in office, you know, putting those type of things in place. You know, I think, now this is just my personal opinion, you know, anybody can get mad at me. You can call me if you got my number. If you don't, too bad. I think this president has an opportunity to rise to a level of a President de Klerk. Now, I said this in the very beginning of his presidency because I think he has a heart and the mindset to care about people of color, you know, black folks. And for those that don't know who President de Klerk, you know, he was the president that allowed Nelson Mandela to come out of prison, and he fought against apartheid to allow, you know, South Africa to rise above itself and become fair, one vote, one man, the whole 9 yards. So I think with the things that we need in the United States, like the things we talk about is reparation, you know, the debt that's owed to our ancestors, you know, there's an opportunity there. Now, of course, Congress will not give him, you know, the green light to do that, but the conversation is happening, you know, and it's going on continuously. Now, whether they're able to pull it off or not, but it starts with a conversation. You know, because the country is broken anyway. Right. You know, anytime Congress spends more time trying to figure out, you know, who's in the bathroom at one time, that's a whole waste of congressional hearings, you know, and, you know, who getting a blowjob on a boat, you know, with pictures in the chamber. That's a whole waste of congressional dollars. So I mean, they're wasting our money. They're broken. That's money they could have offered up to to us for our ancestors. They trying to tax us more. They don't want to give us any breaks for student loans. They don't want to give the people nothing.
No, you can't.
You know.
Going back to Joe Biden, when you
Uh-huh.
about that law that was passed back then, I forget the name of it, that he didn't pass the law himself.
He just was with it.
All of your Congress was on top. That's black, white, all of them was in they believed in that because crime was just trying to stop crime, and but it went too far.
Yeah, the drug on war, the war on drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, it went too far. You had a situation where it was, if you had crack cocaine as opposed to regular cocaine, you get 10 years for the same thing that the cocaine person would get for 1 year.
Right.
You know who was buying the cocaine? People with money, and the crack was in the hood. So they straightened it out, like you said. He made a mistake, and so did everybody else. All your Congress people made the mistake, black and white. They all say that's wrong. That's too much. So they changed it. Came back and changed it. And you look at a lot of the things that have gone on in between that time and now, and I look at all the accomplishments. If you go back to George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
George Washington had slaves.
Absolutely.
Do I hate him now? No, I don't hate George Washington. Back then, everybody had slaves. I'm not saying it was okay. I think it was barbaric. But it happened. Did they change? George Washington, yes, he freed his slaves. And other people did. Abraham Lincoln understood that you cannot run this country if you're going to have slavery. So this is why you had the Civil War. People say, well, he didn't do the Civil War to save the slaves. He did the Civil War. You're right. He did that to make sure that this country didn't divide and kill itself. And in order to do that, we got to free the slaves because that's what we said we were going to do. People need to study the history and find out exactly what happened. But now some people don't give a damn what it is, good, bad, and indifferent. We want to be on top. They've been trained to hate, from since they were kids, like they're trying to do now over there in Florida, where they don't want to teach black history, so that they don't want the little white kids to know what we did to you Negroes. No, let them know, because I think they're intelligent enough to understand this. But it'll happen. Thing is, we're in the position now to do what we need to be doing for this country. Slap this boy here, put him in jail, whatever you're going to do. Vote in Joe Biden next year on 2024. Move on. Let them know that this country is for real. We're not just talking smack. We're definitely behind that. So I'm not all that concerned. I know the thing I want to do. If we come out and vote, he'll never get in office. When I say we, I'm talking about America. White, black, Hispanic, all of us come out and vote, just like you did the last time. You knocked him out.
Right.
On that, I'm gonna say one more thing on that. When I be talking about them polls, if you look at the polls told you that it's going to be a red wave coming in. Nothing showed up.
Right.
And that's the way it is. If you've been around, and I've been around long. I've been around. So I'm a little bit older than you. I might not.
Yes, sir.
I might not look like.
Absolutely, sir. I totally agree with you, sir.
A lot older than you. But I've been into this since I was 16 years old. And I've seen so many accomplishments. I've seen some bad things too, but I've been involved in so many accomplishments. And let me say a shout out, Dr. Ron, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
My nephew and my daughter down in Mississippi. Now, I'm trying to make it as quickly as I can. When I was down there at 16 years old, I was fighting, with the freedom fighters and everything, and they hired us. They had to give us a couple of dollars to go sign black people up to vote. And that's what we were doing, and we boycotted and we protested. I remember one time we were walking down the street, all of us protesting with a bunch of people, and this guy came through, this white guy. He said, "Hey, you nigga, get over there!" He said, he called us a bunch of niggers and stuff. So we grabbed his car, turned it upside down. He jumped out and started running. But anyway, I got locked up a few times down there in Mississippi. And after I graduated from high school, the sheriff down there told me, I was locked up. Sheriff told me, he said, look here, Jerry, I know your families. I know all Mr. Bush and Mrs. Bush, my grandfather said. He said, but ever since you've been back down here from Chicago, you've been getting in trouble. I think you all just go on back to Chicago. And I said, officer, if you let me out today, I'm gonna catch the bus that left yesterday. Don't worry about it. I'm out of here. But make a long story short, you know, we couldn't even go to their games or watch the white kids.
Right.
We couldn't do nothing. We boycotted, and they had a public swimming pool. No niggas allowed. So what we did, we found out that the government was financing that. So we told, hey, if the government put our dollars in there, we want it too. So anyway, one day they said they're gonna fix it. So one day we went down there. We knew the government had stepped in. So we got together. Yeah, we going down here and swim. Went down to the swimming pool. They had filled it up with cement. So, that's the way it was back then.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, what happened was my daughter, my nephew, ran for office down there a couple years ago. And they was telling me he going to run for mayor. She running for a big position then, you know. And Dad, look, we need your help because, you know, it's some money. I said, well, shit, I give you money because, you know, I'll do what you're going to do. I'm thinking in my head, well, they probably never win it. But, you know, anyway, they went out and they said he may get in the runoff, you know, talking about the nephew.
Okay.
And he may blah, blah, blah. And make a long story short, they ran. That was no runoff because he won it, the whole thing. He won the whole thing.
All right now.
He won the whole thing. They're right now, they're in West Point, Mississippi. He's the mayor of West Point. He's whatever in West Point. And they're doing a great job down there. But it just made me feel so good, all the fighting we did when I was a teenager.
And now it paid off.
Oh, man, I was so...
Absolutely. Well, shout out to the nephew down there. What is it, Moss Point?
West Point, Mississippi.
West Point, Mississippi.
That's right.
You know, and see, I hope people that are listening and watching this understand how important that is. Because, you know, once upon a time, you know, Emmett Till, all of them were lynched in Mississippi.
Yes.
You know, for doing the very same thing that you were doing, which was getting out the vote, helping to get out the vote, and trying to help execute a change. So the fact that you have been here and seen a lot of things, I applaud you, and you haven't given up. Now, this is going to be a great segue into your activism with the unions. You know, because you're a great activist with the unions and fighting for them and their retirements, and even when you were there, making sure they had benefits. So you want to talk about that a little bit?
I appreciate you bringing it up. I did a lot of labor work even before I became president of the union of the ATU Local 308. I was executive board member, union steward, did a lot. I went to Roosevelt and did labor studies and stuff. I started out music in Roosevelt, but then I got really interested in the labor. And so I did. I ran for the executive board. I won that. And then I ran for the presidency at Local 308. And that was servicing the Chicago, the CTA, Chicago Transit Union. That's all the workers on the rails, the ticket agents and all that, you know, and ran into a lot of stuff. One of the things I found was that unions are the greatest thing since sliced bread. But your union leaders are where you're having problems at. You can't go in there saying, I'm going to elect my buddy who I go drink with, the buddy that's my partner, because they don't know anything. Find somebody that has had training, that's sincere about what they're doing, and care about the people. Find that out first. You know, continue to drink with your buddy, but don't put them in there if they don't know what they're doing. But and then what I did was win it. I think I'm the longest serving president at Local 308. I retired 17 years ago, but I'm still active. I still do things for people, not just the CTA. But I found out that after I retired, CTA, they went down to Illinois state legislators and came up with a bill. Now, when we retired, we had a contract, so we didn't have to pay anything, for health care because, we were retired. They came up with a bill that said, okay, we're going to make you pay for your health care. Well, we're already out there. I didn't know about it. A friend of mine came over and said, Jerry, did you see what they're doing with the contract? I said, don't really care because I'm retired. He said, no, did you see what they're doing with the pension? I said, what are they doing with the pension, man? And one thing led to another, and I found out that they were doing that. I said, you can't do that. The Illinois State Constitution says you can't do that because, Article 8, Section 5. But they were doing it anyway. Talked to them, nothing. I tried to talk to the union guys. Their position was, well, one big old monster guy. He was like 6'8", big old cat, the union dude. Well, Mr. Williams, you retirees got to pay something too, because what the hell are you talking about, Junior? We were paying when you was in grade school.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, one thing led to another, and they took it out. I went back and forth with the union guys. They didn't do anything. Took it out. They took the money out on us. So what I did was went and found attorneys. And attorneys said, well, Jerry, we'll take the case. And they said that if we move, we have to go to the Supreme Court. We'll go with you. And they did, and we did have to go to the Supreme Court. Make a long story short, it took a lot of time and effort. I fought with that for 12 years. And we just settled that case. And we settled it for $80 million.
All right,
go
now.
Look it up on your Google. You'll see Williams versus CTA pension. You'll see it was $80 million that they settled for. I filed a class action. People told me, Jerry, you should just file for yourself. No, they're screwing all of the people, not just Jerry. So I filed a class action. And, it went back and forth. And I can't, I don't hate the CTA for taking that position. Probably if I was a management person, I probably did the same thing if you let me get it. But I tried to stop them. I tried to tell the brothers, you got to read, and understand what's going on. One of them did come and talk with me. He was the president of the bus drivers. Jefferson, I believe his name was. But he his attorneys was telling him one thing, and I'm telling him another. And the people that were at CTA, their lawyers were telling him the same thing the attorneys telling him. It was hard for him to believe little old black Jerry and all these Harvard-educated guys going out here telling him, no, there's nothing you can do about it because, the pension go belly up. What I was telling him is that this pension don't go belly up because it's a defined pension plan. The only way it goes belly up is the state go belly up. But he couldn't hear that, and they couldn't, Now, when they passed that bill, Ron, it was not just for the CTA. It was for every retirement plan in the state of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
But get this, the only person they enforced it on was the CTA, which had the biggest black pensioners in the state. They had the CFL union guy come in and talk them into giving it up. Then I asked him, I said, well, what about you? You'll give up your people? No. Why are you over here? And I got it all on paper, sometimes, where he was in there encouraging, he was in there helping negotiate, taking money away from the guys at CTA. And I said, this is nuts. So that's when I went on, got the attorneys and we filed a lawsuit and stuff like that. And we won it, and I think everybody was happy, everybody I talked to. I filed a class action for our retirees. It's only a certain amount of retirees, like the ones that retired before 2007. Anybody that retired before 2007, they're covered. But after that, these guys were under the union. And when I went to we went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said the retirees are safe, yes, but the active people are not, because the union gave it away. But Ron, here's one little kicker that I still in my crow. In that it says that in the state constitution, it says you cannot take anything away from a pensioner, that's a person that's been vested in the pension. You ain't got to be retired. That's vested in the pension. You cannot take anything away from them unless you're going to give them something of equal value or better. But they did it. I couldn't fight for the actives because I was retired. I did fight for the retirees, and we won it. And I think we're all satisfied with that. Matter of fact, I know that everybody's satisfied with that.
Well, I applaud you. Congratulations on successfully, winning this case because it took some
It
years.
did. It did.
Yeah, but you didn't give up. You didn't get discouraged, and they ought to be happy that you were at the helm and not somebody else.
Yeah.
Because you took it all the way to the top.
Thanks.
Congratulations, man. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Now, don't forget your boy over here now. I'm retired too, but I just ain't retired from CTA.
I heard a lot of songs like that, man. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
everybody was happy though, and
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
yeah,
So now, a question.
yep.
Because you said something about the Illinois state constitution having provisions incorporated in it to help employees that are invested. So are they going to be able to get what they're supposed to get? You don't know. That's not your battle.
So
But the
I think I can answer that. They did. What happened with that? Their unions and stuff fought for them,
mm-hmm.
and they did when they cut theirs off right away, way back before a year was up. They cut theirs off and they said, okay, they'll get their retirement.
Okay.
Only ones they screwed was the Chicago Transit Authority.
Wow.
Retirees. And one thing about the Chicago Transit Authority retirees is they don't get a cost of living. When you retire, people don't die right away. They live a long time, but everything goes up except your pay. And what I did before I left there, I negotiated a contract where I increased their pension by anywhere from $700 to $800 a month. People said I couldn't do it. I got that done. I worked with Valerie Jarrett. Are you familiar with her?
Oh yeah.
CTA did, and we got together, and contract time came up, and I said, well, look, it's we want A, B, C, and D. And she said, well, Jerry, look, we're broke. We don't have any money. I've heard that before. So I said, okay, if you're broke, then can our actuaries come and look into your books? She said, yeah. So I got the actuaries, my attorneys to get the actuaries. We came and looked in the book. They went in there and looked in the book. They came back to Jerry. They broke. I said, okay. I said, what do we do? I said, what we got to do then? We got to get some money for the CTA. So then I had never voted for a retiree never voted for we call him a person that George Ryan. He was running.
Mm-hmm.
He was running for governor. So I never, endorsed a Republican in my life. But I said, well, I better go talk to him. He came to a breakfast one. Labor breakfast. I said, well, look, George. I said, like transportation. What's from total poll of 1 to 10? I said, what's your 10 being the top? I said, what would transportation fall? He said, right about the top 3. I said, oh yeah, it was a labor breakfast now, you understand. So okay. So I said, then they had another breakfast for the executives downtown, right? And we got an invite, me and the president from 241, which is Isaiah Thomas, and he passed away. But and we got an invite. So I told Ike, I said, I'm going to ask him the same thing in front of these guys, And he told us, that Ike said, no, don't do that, Jerry. I said, I'm going to do it. He said, no, man. I said, okay. So we went down there, and sitting around and taking little drinks, and George talking. So I said, hey, George, my boy grabbed my hand. Jerry, don't do that, man. So, okay, Ike. So I kept talking, and I just eased around to the other side of the table. Ike looked up, I was on the other side of the table. I said, hey, George, you told me you're going to do, what is your position again now on the transportation? Poll 1 to 10. He said, right, what I told you before, Jerry. The number 3 top. I said, I'll tell you what, we're endorsing you for go. We did. But what I told him, and he laughed about that because he told that story, George Ryan did a lot of places. But what we did was, when they nominated him and when they elected him, I told him, I said, look, anything you're going to do in transportation, I said, make me a part of it because I want. He said, okay. And he did. He put me on the panel. And Illinois First, when you go around and you find money for the different things like schools and all that.
Right.
I was
right,
on that panel, but I was only on the transportation part. So what he did was he allowed us to work it out. So we carved out $4 billion for transportation, and I carved out $2.1 billion for the CTA. You know, and I talked to Jared, and I told her. She said, "You think you can get that?" I said, "Go get it. Just hold on." And we did. We came down and they voted it in. We got it. So she said, "Okay, everything I told you is true, Jared. There it is. Here's your contract." That's how I was able to get that contract for the actives and the retirees. But it was, it was a great thing. What I did, I'll make it short too, Ron, is that even though I was labor, I tried to work with management, and management tried to work with me. In the things that we could not get an agreement on, you go to arbitration with it. Yeah. And we work things out like that.
Yeah. Now I know you have a heart for helping people. Nice segue. Into something you got coming up. Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at that. Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, what we have coming up is our golf outing. It's coming up on September 30th. And we're honoring one of the greatest guys I've ever met, and that's Alonzo Hill. He was executive vice president at the Chicago Transit Authority. Also was my best friend because we played golf together all the time, but he would take care of the city's transportation, and I took care of our people that I represented, and we understood that about each other. So, but what we do, we got the golf outing coming up, and this is for kids that are in college already. We raise funds for them. Like a lot of times, kids get in college and they get in trouble, and they need money, and they can't get it because they're already in college, and they fall out. Well, what we do, we have them write out an essay, and we have a panel that looks at the essays, and we give them thousands of dollars, to help them out while they're already in college. And it just turned out beautifully. And our golf outing is great because we have some great celebrities there sometimes, most of the time. And the golf outing itself is fun. The food is great. It's at Glenwood Golf Course in Glenwood, Illinois. It's going to be September 30th. So I want you to get out there, look at this right here, and make that phone call. Get out there, and if you play golf, come on out and play. If you don't play golf, come to the banquet because we have entertainment. Everything is great. But
now I see you got like various like ladies' longest drive, men's closest to the pin.
Yeah.
So you got little prizes along the way, huh?
Yeah, and they love it too. Like the ladies, man, they can play, man. And the ladies won. They have their own division. They play and they win.
Okay.
And it's nice prizes too. Like it's monetary. Some of it's monetary, And then we have all kinds of great prizes and stuff that we give out at the end. It's great.
Okay.
It's great. You need to just come on by there. And the main thing is, keep in mind, this is for these young people that are in college that may have a little tough time. We want to try to help them out.
Now, can amateurs come, man? Because I know all you pros be out there.
Yes, absolutely. We got a lot of amateurs to come. We got next year I'm gonna think about an amateur division.
Okay.
But no, amateurs, we have a lot of fun.
Okay, so it's not too late to register.
No, it's not.
Okay, and I'm looking at some of the fees on here. So I see that it says $120 per person, a foursome $480, and the banquet is $40 per person.
Yes.
Now this is a worthy cause. Yeah, worthy cause. I even see you got an award for best dressed golfer.
You got to see that. You got to see
First,
that.
second, and third place. Now, okay. Does that mean baggy pants and a flashy hat or something?
Whatever that panel decided is the best dress. That's what the guy that won last past year. A lot of people know him. They call him Purple Rain. That's all they got to say. They know who he is. Purple Rain.
They call him Purple Rain, huh?
Purple Rain, man. He won.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. I had another guy say, "I'm gonna get him next year. He can get ready. I'm getting this next year." So
okay. So now is it an all day, 2 day? I mean, like the PGA goes 2 or 3 days. So what?
All day.
It's just 1 day.
1 day. 1 day.
1 day.
Yeah, you start about. I think we kick off at 9:00, and then about 2:00 is the banquet and everything, and everybody just hang out and have a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, that sounds like it's going to be fun had by all.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is it free drinks at the banquet or anything like that? Or is it,
Well, if you drink water, it's free. They got a bar around the corner there,
Yeah. Okay. So you said you bring your own flask in your golf bag, huh?
You know about that.
Yeah, I heard about it. I'm not one to hang out on the golf course. I cannot. I know you're an avid golf fan. You're a celebrity. I've heard. Self-proclaimed.
I love
it. Like the Michael Jordan on the golf course.
Ain't bragging, but yes.
So it's not fair. I hope you're not playing in this tournament.
Well, I can't win. If I play, I can't win because wouldn't look right for me to win.
Okay.
I play with my guys; they'll win. I can't win.
Okay, so now annually, how many people do you have participating with the golf part and in the banquet part?
Probably about 150 people.
150 people.
Somewhere around.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is truly a worthwhile cause. All the money goes to help young people that's struggling in college. So that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. So now, how soon do they have to start putting their essays in order to apply?
Well, I suggest they start doing it now, and I think that September 9th is the last day to get it in. I may be wrong. It's on the flyer, but I think it's
okay.
9th.
Okay.
Is the last day to get it in. But when
okay.
get those in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. And then now something you mentioned to me early on that people may not know is that you don't have to be in the golf tournament in order to come to the banquet.
Correct. Banquet, it's separate from. Well, it's. We have about 150 people, and I would say about 60 something play golf. The rest come to the banquet.
Okay.
And golfers come to the banquet too. So.
Yeah. Now, what about the entertainment? You say is it going to be R&B, hip hop? What's it going to be? Jazz? What's it going to be?
You like it? Jazz, R&B, hip hop. We give you all of it.
Okay.
We're gonna have. I know we're gonna have. I haven't just got a contract and thing to perform, but I got the Jose Cornier. I think at the top is the best guitarist in the country.
Okay.
Latin guitarist. He was Grammy nominated guitarist. Of course, T.L. Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. T.L. is gonna be there. The Sisters Development. We are working on people, just all kind of celebrities like Sam Chapman and people like that. To come out and hang out. They usually do with us anyway. But
yeah, there you go. Now, segue into the next one. I know that it's this time of year again for Infinite Scholars.
Right.
Speaking of scholarships and helping the young people,
right.
Let's talk about that.
Oh man, this is my baby here. The Infinite Scholars program is we grab kids, juniors and seniors. We put on a scholarship fair, and we have it all over the place. We have them at Chicago State, University of Chicago, We have in some of the schools, Dunbar. We have, we have the fair. We bring in about 60 to 70 colleges that give out scholarships, some of them on the spot right there. We work with the Chicago Public Schools and the Chicago Teachers Union, and they are great supporters. We bring busloads of kids in from 10 to 2, and then from 3 to 7 at night. And these scholarships are now, the last 5 years, we gave out more than $45 million in scholarship offers to these kids.
Wow.
Last year, we had the young lady, little bitty little thing, I can't remember her name. She got over $1 million in scholarship offers.
Wow.
So, and then we and this is all over the United States. We got 29 cities in the United States that we service. I'm the co-chairman of the International, and it's wonderful. We got places like Detroit, Florida, North Carolina. It's everywhere. We got them everywhere. But in Chicago, we run it here, and it's great. And we've been doing it for quite a while.
It says what, 20th anniversary?
Yeah, 20th anniversary. You just took it right. 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's beautiful. So we want people to come and push. We believe in our kids. We know that they get half a chance, they're going to be okay. And for these kids that do graduate, get the scholarship and go on to get their degree, and they come back and say to us, hey, thanks for what you did for, man, that's more than money. That free, that's more than money.
Yeah. And the date this year is October the 19th.
Right. October 19th is going to be at Michelle Clark. Beautiful school.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful school. We had it there once before. It was great. Now they've really enhanced the school even more now. Beautiful place. Going to be there.
Great. Well, once again, I cannot applaud you enough for all of your philanthropic. I know I said that word wrong. They're gonna get me later.
Well, we know.
But
we hope.
Yeah. For all of your work in the community and all of encouraging the youth, it's like each one reach one, and you leave it and you put it on the minds of the young people to keep on doing it over and over and over again. So that's how we build a successful, generation after generation after generation. So thank you and your team for all that you do, man. Thank you. I can't say it enough.
Can I do one more thing? I want to give a shout out to a couple of people.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Do that because it's very important. First, number one person is my wife, Ruth, because she works.
Absolutely. You ain't going to get me in no trouble. Shout out. Whoop, whoop, Ruth.
All the guys that work with me on the lawsuit and all the people that work with me on the scholarship, like Ronnie Roach, been with me from start to finish on the lawsuit. All my guys with the CTA coalition guys, from Claude Funches all the way down to Suzette Smith and all the guys in there, they stayed with me all the way. And then all the people that work with us on the scholarship fairs, the twins, Fanny, McCullough, Gus too, just a whole bunch of people. I can't name everybody. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Everybody that worked with us.
Absolutely. See, when you start naming names, you get in trouble.
Yeah, that's what
But no, Ruth. Whoop, whoop. We got to give both hands up for Ruth. I got to tell y'all a story about Ruth. I learned a long time ago that if I want to get Jerry to do anything, I got to talk to Ruth because she going to make sure it get done. It's so crazy. I can call Jerry this week, and he'll look at his phone and say, oh, Ron called. And it'll be a week later, she'll ask him, did you call Ron back? And he said, oh, let me go do it right now.
Can't argue with you. You're right.
So definitely shout out to Ruth, Yeah. And, your whole family are musical and entertainment family, so we can't leave your son out. You got to talk about him, TL.
Yeah, TL, that's my boy. He he's doing great. He and his wife Danny Jo, they got, not only are they all over the country with the music and all that, and writing and arranging and producing. They got a hair product, Shatira Beauty, that's it's great for African American hair. You can find it at stores, like you can go to Amazon, get the Shatira Beauty. I'm sure they'll come. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask them to come over and talk to you about that. And it's doing great. So they're doing great, and they work with the kids and stuff, and just love. I love those.
Good, good.
You know.
Well, once again, man, I thank you and I applaud you for all that you do in the community. And you always got a home here. For years you've been coming on here talking about all the things that you've been doing, and I'm always thankful because I like to celebrate people in our community that's doing what they're doing. And you and your family are worth celebrating. I've had them all on the show. I remember before I started doing, I was just on an internet radio station, and TL came on before the song ever came out, the first one that blew up, and as a matter of fact, I don't know if you remember this or not, but Carl Davis was still alive then.
Yeah.
Yep, came on out, and we was in the little old hole in the wall, man, but we was broadcasting, and we got it in. Yep, and it was a beautiful thing, so I've always, and then Danny Joe's been on.
Oh, yeah.
She's been on here, so I've had I just ain't had Ruth on here yet.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get Ruth on here for something.
And I'm going to try to get you to get my other baby, Sherry Williams, on from West Point, Mississippi.
Okay, yeah.
She tell you more about.
Bring on. Look, let's talk about the politics in down there in Mississippi. I'm glad to hear about that. See, when I was a little kid, a lot of years after they ran you out of Mississippi, they used to have these rules and regulations that when you was going south, you never stopped in Mississippi. Those were the rules.
Yep.
If you go in Louisiana, you keep going all the way till you get to Louisiana.
Yeah.
So if you stop in Memphis, and then you got to go all the way to the bottom of the state. Don't even hesitate. That was real talk back in the day.
Yeah.
And it ain't that much different now. But now in Alabama, now they beating people in the head with chairs now. So that's a good thing.
That was.
Well, look, man, we got to get out of here, bro.
Okay. All right.
We got about 3 minutes left, and as always, I got 2 questions I'd like to ask my guests. Will you come back and see me again?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir. I always like to get that on tape. And then the next thing is, what would you like to leave with the people before we get out of here today?
Well, I just want to leave with the people that, stay up. Go out and vote. Don't just whine about things. Go out and vote. You make the difference. You make the difference with your votes. That's what I want to say to people. Thank you. I appreciate that. And those are very profound words. You make the difference. Don't let them tell you your vote don't count. That's right. Because they'll try to discourage you, and then you got to settle for what you get. Correct. So thank you, my brother, man. Look, you keep up the great work, and we're going to get together and talk about some more stuff in the future. So you stay right there. We're going to end the show. I want to invite you guys out to come see me tomorrow at Street News Now. Same channel, same network right here. We're going to be doing it. Street News Now, the Noon Report. Also, don't forget to come check me out each and every Saturday from the desk of Dr. Ron. I appreciate y'all coming out and staying with me to find out what's on my mind. Okay? And then all those that have made contributions and donations, I want to thank you guys so very much. Without your support, I don't know what I would do. So keep up the great work. Continue. I can't say it enough. Continue to support. These are all the ways you can make contributions. And please subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. Tell somebody. Let somebody know what's going on over here so that you can see that we're doing a great work, and spread the word. So you guys stay safe. See you guys tomorrow. Stay blessed. And I look forward to seeing you guys on